So after massive hits with the first seasons of Daredevil and Jessica Jones, Marvel has now rolled out Season 2 of Daredevil, choosing to focus on a continuation before an entirely new show. This season is bringing back old characters and introducing new ones, and to me at least has looked really promising for a while now. So let's talk about it. So if you'll recall, I absolutely loved the first season of Daredevil. It showed a really interesting corner of the MCU, and overall it was just well executed. So is that level of quality carried on in Season 2? Yeah, definitely. Also, here's your spoiler warning up front. If you haven't finished the season, watch it right now, then come back to this video. Alright, you've been warned. Firstly, the majority of the old cast members return here, and some new ones are introduced. Charlie Cox is still fantastic as Daredevil. Matt Murdock is a complex and very interesting character, and both the writing and Charlie Cox's performance totally sell it. Eldon Henson is still really good as Foggy, and Deborah Ann Wool is still really good as Karen. These three have really great chemistry with each other, and it feels like they're actually friends for like 2 episodes until it all goes to hell. It was kinda sad to see Nelson and Murdock torn apart at the end, not gonna lie. Now let's get into the 2 big additions to this series. Firstly, Jon Bernthal as the Punisher. You may know Bernthal as Shane from The Walking Dead, or that one guy from The Wolf of Wall Street.
You got a big f***ing mouth, you know? I'm gonna give you a f***ing pass. Just give me the case.
You're gonna give me a pass.
Look, it's a figure of f***ing speech.
Oh my gosh, the Emperor of Foxville came down from Foxville to give me a pass.
He is amazing as the Punisher.
Bang.
He's badass, he's very menacing, and he's actually an interesting character. They do a very good job of setting up his ideology and his way of doing things, and he's really interesting in the sense that sometimes you like him and feel sorry for him, and then sometimes you're just horrified by what he's doing. The whole dynamic between him and Daredevil is fantastic. They play off each other really well, and seeing them arguing about their different ideas of how to defend a city is just fascinating.
You act like it's a playground. You beat up the bullies with your fists, you throw them in jail, everybody calls you a hero, right? And then a month, a week, a day later, they're back on the streets doing the same goddamn thing.
So you just put him in the morgue.
You goddamn right I do.
Episode 3, where Daredevil is chained to a chimney, and him and the Punisher are going back and forth, that episode is incredible. And the funny thing is, you do kind of consider both sides. At least I did. The Punisher does only go after people who deserve it, for the most part. And when he puts them down, they don't get back up. But then there's the other side of how it's morally wrong and everyone deserves a second chance. And it was really just a great back and forth. And Jon Bernthal is just a really great actor. He has that monologue at the end of episode 4 about his daughter, and it's actually kind of heartbreaking. And he carries it for a solid couple of minutes. Now the other big new character this season is Elektra, played by Elodie Yung. And yeah, she's pretty good. If I'm being honest, I don't know a hell of a lot about Elektra's character, so putting aside the adaptation from the comics part of it, she just plays an interesting character. She's a good new personality on the show. Her death was also pretty good, although I did kind of see it coming, especially after Matt said,
Remember, they're trying to kill me, not you.
Over my dead body.
It was quite obvious to me at least. Now one of the things I loved most about Daredevil Season 1 was the action. And how does Season 2 do with that? Really well actually. The action scenes here are still really well choreographed, really well shot, and the hand-to-hand stuff is just amazing. While I don't think anything will ever stack up to that hallway fight from Season 1, the biker gang fight from Episode 3 is still pretty incredible. Now I'd also like to say, just like Season 1, the action here is brutal and bloody. Like, more so than Season 1. This is very much an R-rated show, especially anything the Punisher does. I mean, his introduction where he just shoots all those Irish gang members is insane. And I guess I have to address the Punisher's prison rampage. That whole scene was just... I don't even know. It felt to me kind of like the Kingsman church scene, only on a smaller scale and considerably less fun. Like, the church scene is meant to be extremely over the top, and it's played for just comedy and insane action. This was just crazy violent. I mean, it's amazingly choreographed, and the stunts are great, but it's very brutal. And even if he's not as violent as the Punisher, Daredevil still does some pretty messed up stuff too. On the whole, this show isn't for kids. It's not like this is Saw or anything, but there are a few moments in here that aren't for younger viewers. If they ever incorporate these Netflix heroes into the Marvel movies, like they might in Infinity War, it's gonna be interesting to see this kind of stuff in the Avengers world.
You're bleeding out. And I got all night.
And on that note, the tone of the show is still very dark. There are a lot of funny moments that break it up, but this is a dark show. However, while Season 1, from what I remember, was very grounded, and it was just one guy in New York going after a bunch of criminals, this season, a bit of that was dropped slightly. Don't get me wrong, it's still a really serious, relatively realistic show, but there's some magical-ish element in here with the hand, and coming back from the dead, and weird ancient religions, and I mean, it's interesting, and it's a cool new element in the show, but I myself kind of prefer the more realistic street stuff. Speaking of which, the hand is in this, which is cool. And Nobu is back, that one ninja who really messed up Daredevil until he was set on fire. He's back to life and fiercer than ever, I guess. I will say, when he got thrown off that roof at the end and he opened his eyes and was still alive, I was like, really? He's gonna be in Season 3 now as well? Can't he just stay dead for a little bit? And apparently, Stick was thinking the same thing, because a second later, he steps into frame and just chops his head off.
Stay down.
The main and really only big thing I think is wrong with this season is that it feels kind of disjointed and overstuffed. This show suffers a little bit from having too much stuff going on, and really the show feels overcrowded sometimes. Not all the time, most of the time it feels pretty balanced, but there are a few episodes where it feels just overpacked. You've got the Punisher, you've got Elektra, you've got Stick, you've got the Hand, you've got the Yakuza, you've got Matt and Foggy's friendship, you've got Karen investigating this case. At points it feels a bit clustered. I think maybe some of this could have been saved for season 3. As far as other things to talk about, Daredevil's costume is pretty awesome. At the end of season 1, it looked kinda weird. I don't really know why, but it didn't really click with me. But here, it looks great. He also finally gets his signature Billy Club at the end, which is awesome, and the Punisher gets his costume at the end, which is a nice touch. It was also nice to get some connections to the larger MCU. Roxxon is mentioned, they're all over the place in this universe. Jessica Jones gets name dropped.
One in our office is already under serious scrutiny. A lady by the name of Jessica Jones.
And speaking of which, that woman who was gonna get cut 1,000 times, I guess Foggy now works for her. There was also a small teaser for Luke Cage, which looks pretty awesome from the 30 seconds we saw of it. Also, I should address Wilson Fisk coming back here. I knew they were gonna bring him back in some capacity, but I hadn't heard any spoilers of when or how, so when he showed up at the end of episode 8, that was pretty awesome. Overall, this is a really good continuation. Just the production value alone on this, for a TV show, is insane. The shock of seeing a really dark MCU thing is gone now. So this season had to do something new to impress us, and I think it did. This season is very entertaining, very brutal, and on the whole, just a great follow-up. A lot of people aren't liking it, I don't really know why. It isn't perfect, but I'd say it's still really good. I'll give Daredevil Season 2 a 9.4 out of 10. So those were my thoughts on the second season of Daredevil. What did you think of it? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. While you're at it, be sure to like this video, check out my Instagram at BHL_Hudson, and subscribe for more videos like the one you just watched. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.